I'm Virginia McGathey here on the floor at the CME Group reporting on the livestock market. Today, cattle firmed up. Those beef cutout prices and the demand were a little bit higher today, and that gave the market somewhat of a lift. But the lackluster trade in cattle, in the cattle trade around, it makes it really difficult to find its footing. We're not really sure exactly which way to go, and I think that the expectation that the market's going to be moving a little bit sideways because of it. So we need to wait for a little more news to kind of give us some direction in which way it's going. But I think that at this point right now, it seems to be a positive that it's holding on because the feeders slipped. So that's kind of giving it a different direction. That just lets you know that we're not really sure which way to go. The deferreds fell below those technical numbers, which was the 100-day moving average. And sometimes you get a little bit more overflow selling from something like that. But the traders are looking for something to trade against that will that will give us somewhat of a lift. Now that U.S. dollar index is still very, very strong, and that's going to make it a little bit more difficult to kind of move some of our supplies, and that's going to put a lid on the market kind of moving up. And the tariff wars, we haven't heard anything right now, so it's still lingering. There's no end in sight yet. That is really putting a damper on all commodities across the board. Until we hear more about it, we're not really sure where to go. And the one that was suffering the most certainly is the hog market. But today hogs were steady, and the consolidation really seems to be a positive. You know, the market is holding strong. This is the third session in a row, and that's really helpful. But we're not getting too excited as of yet. It seems that the traders are just hoping that the cash markets are really going to increase. And right now we're in an area where the market normally is going to start to firm up, and it really comes after Labor Day. But maybe we're getting a little ahead of ourselves here. But we've been oversold for quite a while right now, and I think the selling is a little bit exhausted. And so some of the bargain hunters are stepping in and kind of holding the market up. The market's very, very thin. We're not sure if it can completely hold with that U.S. dollar index still being strong. We're watching the talks the NAFTA talks with U.S., Mexico, and Canada. That could really help the hog market a lot. So there's still a lot of balls in the air to try to figure out which way we're going to go. But right now we're holding pretty steady. That's all from the floor at the CME Group here in Chicago. I'm Virginia McGathey.